Hello, and welcome everybody to this month's forum. It's really excellent to have a forum that is so useful and so well-liked that we are doing an extension. So thank you, Darcy and Pat and Rosalie. So today we're going to have Darcy and Rosalie, and if we have time, we'll try to get a breakout group as well to discuss and talk about ourselves. We'll see how we go. So I'm going to hand over to uh, Darcy very soon. But first of all, let me introduce uh, Evan. Evan is the CEO of Tai Chi for Health Institute, and he is for this forum now is the technical chief. Is going to make sure the internet works well, and then Ernie, you all know Ernie. Ernie sort of get you all connected, and Ernie's work with the workshop. Do you want to say something, Ernie?
Yes, this is turning Tai Chi steps into exercise, the second part of what Darcy started in December. Everyone was so excited about that, and we are excited to bring it to you for the second part, along with Rosalie having comments as well. So enjoy.
Thank you, Ernie. And I think as if Evan want to say something too.
Oh, sure. Good morning, good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you. It's just such a lovely moment in our month that we get to come together like this. So thank you for Darcy, Rosalie, Dr. Lam for sharing.
Yes, and Pat Pat Lawson is the manager for my workshop in USA, and also master trainer. Pat, do you want to say something to?
Sure, sure. This is just one example of how much fun we can have with our classes and our own participants by taking one part of the program and giving it more depth and different ways to look at it without changing it, but to bring awareness to your own participants. And that's kind of what we do at all of our workshops, including the June workshop. So I hope I see you all there.
Fantastic. Thanks, Pat. And well, Darcy and Rosalie probably doesn't need any introduction. You already know them last time. But if you didn't, uh, if you come today is the first time, they both working in their other time as a physiotherapist, and they both master trainers of our program. And I'm going to hand over to Darcy first.
Hi, everybody, my beloved Tai Chi family. It's good to be here. And if you didn't make it to the part one, the first forum that was in December, you can always catch the recording, which is wonderful. But in December, we covered a lot in a short amount of time. But one was the follow step in detail. And we made an exercise out of the follow step by going to the front, to the corner, and to the side wall. And that acted like a bridge to get them ready for the extension moves of Tai Chi for Arthritis Part 1. So we are going to go over together the second knee warm up again to review the shorter, wider step versus the long and narrow step for developing what I call sensing feet. You might have heard about sensing hands and push hands, but sensing feet is all about sensing where stability is and so helpful for fall prevention. So, the warm-ups, you're secretly getting them ready not only for the extension moves, but also for part 2 of their Tai Chi or all their Tai Chi forms, actually, helping them to prevent falls in life itself. So incrementally, we're progressing them, teaching them like the stepwise progressive teaching method does. And to set you up for success, before we do that one warm up, I'd like you to think about crossing a creek. So when we're walking on the pavement, we don't place our foot first to sense if we're walking across a creek, we want to sense if the boulder or the stone we're going to step on is securely in the creek bed, or it could be slippery with moss. We want to sense if that's stable before we transfer our weight. So we're going to do this second knee exercise together right now. If you'd like to join me, please do. For just that one. Okay, so here's our home base. If you remember from part one, we have our feet hip width, and we could just feel our feet, sense those feet beneath us on that firm ground with our weight shifting back and forth. And then our feet should be facing forward, or what I like to call 12 o'clock. I'd like you to turn them out just ever so slightly to maybe 11 or 1 o'clock. And then I'd like you to shift your weight over and place the heel down. But see, I don't have weight on it yet. So it's not a long, narrow stepping and falling onto our foot like we do walking. Then I'd like you to melt the toe straight ahead and then carefully place the weight on it and come back, bringing that foot slightly off 12 o'clock. And this one is shorter and wider for stability. And then we're doing our punch. So coming back, and the other side. If you have someone who steps too long and with their weight, you can have them put their whole foot down, and that brings it in a little closer. So let's try that now, thinking about the creek walk. So we're going to cross a creek and we place the whole foot on the boulder. And then we carefully transfer our weight. The knee is over the ankle, and we come back, bringing it back. We'll do it one more each side. So whole foot down. See how it brings it in closer? And then transfer the weight. So stable. Coming back. And try just the whole foot for creek crossing practice today. Just for fun. Changing it up a little bit. Okay. So that's a review and our warm up. And I'd like to actually teach you in the stepwise progressive teaching method brush knee today. For those of you who know it really well, I'm going to add a principle and some depth in part 2 of the 3 parts of brush knee. But to get us ready for part 1 of brush knee, I have another exercise for you, and that's to introduce you to your dantian. So if you want to put your hands palm over right below the belly button, I'm going to shift the weight off and my toe comes up, and I'm going to turn my toe to kind of that corner and then come back, and then I'm going to do the other side. Unweight, turn. When Dr. Lam says turn the toe in, he means the whole dantian. So it's not just the ankle or the toes. So we're introducing the dantian being this swivel on the heel. We unweight, we never turn on a weighted foot, and we have that little swivel on the heel. Unweight and turn the toe in. So that's going to be part of our part 1. Part 1 is a prep step. So from our open and close, we would turn our right palm up and our right toe in. Left palm turns down. But that's all we're doing. We're not shifting weight except for to unweight. And we turn that palm up. I'm going to turn back on so you can follow me from behind. It's easier. So shift left, turn the right toe in, right palm up, and let's do it one more time. Shift left, turn the right toe in and right palm up. So that's the prep step. And from there, we actually, I forgot to show you the whole thing. That's going to be really fun. If you would like to watch me first, before we start adding other things, I'm going to do it 2 times, and I'd like you to vote when you watch me if you like the first time or the second time better. So you can hold up 1 finger or 2 fingers. And here's the first time. I'm going to demonstrate the whole move for you. Or maybe this time, maybe you'd like this one better. Which one did you vote for? 1 finger or 2? 1, I see 1. Good job. 1 is fantastic. I want to explain why. When we did our warm-up exercise, right, short and wide, that's setting you up for success here. So when I turned my toe in, and then I separate short and wide, fold in and turn out, and a little adjust follow step, that's good for stability. So I want you to think about that warm-up exercise. The second time, what people have in their muscle memory is this baseball throw. And it's kind of long and narrow, and you know how they do baseball. So it's a little too narrow, but that's in people's muscle memory. And they might come up too close. And we went over the follow step is very small, adjust step for relieving tension instead of a big step close. So you can refer back to that first forum. So part 1, we did part 1, the prep step. We did part 1, the prep. We're going to add part 2, the separate, short and wide, like we did in our warm up for part 2. We will end up facing the corner for part 2, which is halfway to the new wall. So we're not going to transfer the weight. So here we go. We're going to take a breath in for just part 1. There's your prep. Part 2, shift right and separate, short and wide. You don't have to make it too far because we should be pretty comfortable facing the corner. So when Dr. Lam says the back wall, that's his way of saying short and wide instead of long and narrow, right? So that would be our back wall, even though we're turning to that one. Let's try it again. Shift left, turn the right palm up, shift right, and separate. For those of you, Dr. Lam says the fingers should be facing the corner, our dantian is facing the corner, and it does feel like those of you who know brush knee can add a breath here, like and song, like an opera singer. This is so beautiful to feel that expansion from within, and it's like you're gonna do a voyage, but you need to gather and fill those beautiful sails with air to do the gentle voyage. So we're going to do that one more time and think of songing our joints, expanding from within. Part 1 and part 2, and think of song. One more time. Toe in, right palm up. Separate, song. And now we get to fold that right hand in, turn it out, and there's our gentle voyage and a little adjust step. That adjustment step might just be the angle to release some of the tension. Or if you step too close, it might be going out a little farther for stability. You're sensing for stability. So it's not necessarily an up and back, right? Let's try all 3 together again. So here we go. Part 1. Part 2, fill the sails. Part 3, gentle voyage. We get to go across the water, follow step. Let's do it one more time. Shift left, turn in for preparing. Here we gather. And here we send chi. Brush knee, send chi. And then we can close. Okay, so after this, I'd like us to turn it into an exercise. I left out the show me part because there's so many of you, I wouldn't be able to see you anyway. So, but there is a way you could see by doing this, what I call around the world, playing the game around the world. Did you ever do that with flashcards in grade school with maybe addition facts? Uh, you see if you can get all the way around the world. So we're going to turn this into an exercise. And from this part of the wall, we ended up here, brush knee. We're going to bring this foot up and take a breath in and a breath out. And then we'll continue on to the next corner and the back of the room. So, but I'll start from here and you can follow me. It's fun. Breath in to begin. Breath out. Brush knee. And here's our third part. Follow step and then bring it parallel. Take a breath in and a breath out. Shift left, turn the right toe in, right palm up. We're facing the corner as we separate the hand and foot. And then we go to the back wall, follow step. Bring it up for an open and close. Nice breath in. Shift left, turn the toe to the corner, separate the hand and foot, and aim to the new wall, follow step, and bring it up parallel. Breathe in, breathe out. Shift left, turn the right toe in, right palm up. Shift right, separate. You're facing the corner. You're almost to the front wall. There's your gentle voyage. Follow step. And then come up for the breath in, breath out. For those of you who know brush knee, let's go the other way. Okay? Breath in, breath out. Shift right, turn the left toe in, left palm up. Separate. There's your filling up of those sails, and there's your voyage. Bring the foot up and breath in, breath out. Shift right, left toe in, left palm up. Sink left and separate. There's your filling up of those sails. Facing the back wall, follow step, and then breathe. Breath in, breath out. Shift right. Left toe in, left palm up, separate. You're the opera singer. And there is your follow step. Bring it parallel, breath in, breath out. Shift right for our last one. Remember to song here. As you place that foot, then we are ready for our gentle voyage. And breath in, breath out. And place the ball down. Okay, so you can have fun playing with that, playing around the world, if you will. And I'd like you all to come back to your chair right now. I would like to introduce give you another introduction to the Dantian and the concept of less is more. Because with after the brush knee with part two of before leisurely tying coat, you will add leisurely tying coat, and you might see a lot of this tippy kind of stuff. And I'm gonna have you sit tall in your chair, and then let's see here. I'm gonna have you. Let's go from the end of this brush knee. What you would do from here is turn the palms in. This one comes up and over like you're grabbing a branch, and it's gonna curve to the dantian. And then you take your pulse, come up to your heart, offer a gift, and this is where the dantian comes in. You're gonna turn with the dantian a little nudge. And staying tall on your Tai Chi pole or your merry-go-round pole. But imagine there's a string connected to your palm and your dantian. So if you turn your dantian, it pulls it in like a floating candle on water. Then you can turn your dantian straight to press for that gentle press. Let's try it again. So it's this turning of the waist that is going to be, it's not the hands leading, right? It's the hands don't ever lead. So here we go. Let's try that again. So turn the palms in, up and over, and you draw energy to the dantian. Come up, you offer a gift. Now this is where the dantian is going to turn. So it's not the hand leading, it's the dantian. And there's the string, it's floating candle on water. String, you're going to come from this 11 o'clock, you're going to turn the dantian maybe to your 1 o'clock and then to 12 o'clock. So see how this is doing the work instead of this big, deep sea fishing. So one more time, please. Okay, so turn the palms in, up and over. Draw energy into the dantian, up to the heart, offer your gift. And then the dantian gives it a nudge, a turning of the dantian, nice and tall. So it's floating, but the string's connected to the dantian, and then it straightens out. So see, less is more. Sometimes too big is a little bit tippy, isn't it? So I love having the chair for teaching the upper body, and you can refer back to the wonderful DVD or video lessons that Dr. Lam gives for the steps of this sophisticated multi-piece move that, is a wonderful, wonderful feel to it. So enjoy that. Now, what if, let's say they aren't ready to go on after learning the one side with your brush knee leisurely tie coat? Well, I have an idea. It's just an idea. You don't have to do it, but you could spend some more time on this and make it feel a little more complete by turning it into an exercise. So you would be going in this direction first with your brush knee, and then you would do your leisurely tie coat to this side. Here, I want you to see it doesn't have to be a big swing around. Your dantian is doing the controlling of it. So then why not go to the other side, because the brush knee is all full, all a part of this. So we can go to the other side if they're not ready, that is, to move on. So here's their brush knee to the other side and drawing into the belly, coming up to the heart, offering that gift, and then stepping back and having that little nudge and the dantian doing the controlling of that hand. So it's not the hand leading, right? Yeah, no, we stay upright and balanced, and that makes a mini set that gets them ready for the rest. That 180-degree turn with your brush knees that they call the repulse monkeys. So let's see here if I wanted to, I don't know, I think it just helps set people up for success by using the chair for the upper body and introducing the dantian, sensing feet, sensing stability, that upright posture, not leaning. I want you to have fun teaching this amazing fall prevention set by developing their sensing stability. And that's all I have to offer for you today. So have fun.
Just clapping hands, but I thought that was great. And I know my own participants really benefit from balance work and learning to listen to their feet. Yeah, no, I just had clapping hands up.
Yeah, I think that's really great. I love to go into different circles. It's a bit like uh, different directions. Um, and so it's a great way to get people to really practicing feel the movements and make it interesting. And certainly, I love the less is more. That that is something that is so useful in life. Like less, so many things can be more. But when you interpret it as your Dantian directing it, that's a really good way to look at it, and it just keep emphasizing how important it is to move slightly from the Dantian, or how important it is to think about something and then your body act that what you want to do. In a way, Dantian is controlling your body. It's really nice, lovely. What should we do? Should we have, Evan, do you think we should have questions, or should we go to Rosalie and then have questions later?
I am happy to do whichever you prefer, Dr. Lam. If there are some pressing questions, one or two might not be, one might be nice right now. Yeah.
Okay, any pressing comments or questions? We have two, and then we move on. But if nobody else say anything, we'll move on to Rosalie.
Dr. Lam, we do have two questions. One of them,
Okay.
could you please review the weight shift from the I can't read the whole thing. AJ Bowman, would you like to ask the question?
For
Yeah,
leisurely
hi.
Tai Chi.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. Thank you for translating. I'm just wanting to go over the weight shift, just for a review.
For leisurely
AJ?
Tai Chi.
For
Correct.
leisurely take.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, I wasn't going to go into that. That's in your DVD or your video. So that's a little more complex for this. It's a lot of pieces in one. I just did the upper body to introduce you to the Dantian. So I don't think we have
Perfect.
time for that because we have, but I love you, AJ.
I love you too.
Yes.
No, that's a perfect answer. I'm good with that. Thank you.
And we had a quick one from Lynn Workman. Do we have one more quick one before we move ahead?
Oh, yes, and I wouldn't mind verbalizing it. I did write it in the chat. So when we're doing leisurely tie the coat and very carefully telling them not to overextend the arm, I was mentioning to bend the elbow to bring the hand in and then to reverse it. It seems the string from the palm to the dantian is a gentler way of doing it. But should I stop mentioning bending the elbow, or?
You don't have to stop doing anything. It's perfectly fine. You just play with it and see see how you like it. Just have
Thank you.
fun. It's just a new way
Right,
to connect the dantian.
right. Well, I
Do
really
that
like
now.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Lenore.
Thank you.
Okay, more question, we can do that later. Now let's move on to Rosalie. Rosalie is one of my Australian friends, way up in the north. And if you guys haven't seen the northern part of, no, west, north, yeah, up the top. I have no sense of direction, I'm sorry. But it's really beautiful and it's always warm. And I love you to think of have a holiday up there in the surface paradise in the area up the north. Anyway, sorry, that's outside. I get distracted. Rosalie, all yours, please.
Hello, everyone, and lovely to be here. Thank you very much, Darcy, for sharing your experiences and practical thoughts. I'm going to go a little bit further with breaking down movements, and particularly with the warm-ups and cool-downs. In contrast to traditional Tai Chi, Dr. Lam's Tai Chi for Health programs are increasingly reaching people who are older and wanting to remain safely active, as well as those who are becoming more frail and fearful of falling. As we know, this may be because of illness, chronic pain issues, decreased activity, falls, or near misses. All of these can put people on an insidious downward spiral of decreasing strength, decreasing balance awareness, while increasing their fear of falling. Therefore, in a brand new community beginners class, many of our participants may not have the strength or endurance to stand and safely exercise for an hour. They may not know anyone else in the group and certainly do not want to appear different from everyone else. Remember the group dynamics. This awareness eventually led me to break down the warm-ups and moves even further, in the initial classes at least, as participants gradually build up their strength, endurance, balance skills, and therefore their confidence in being more active. So we start the class as usual with the greeting, the walking round, and so on. And then they can either sit or stand. Everybody's got a chair. And then when we come to the second spine exercise, here's your first break. Okay, everybody sit down. Okay, knees over your feet and your feet comfortably apart. Let's hold this little ball. And let's think about being nice and tall from the crown of your head as we carry that ball to the side, but only as far as the thigh. Roll the ball over. Let's bring it back to the other thigh. Roll the ball over, no further. And as you go into that side, hip back just a tiny bit. Roll the ball over. Pull the other hip back a little bit. Feel how this is engaging the legs. Even though you're sitting, we're working the legs. Okay, eventually when we get to standing up, you've already established that we're going to only go as far as the thigh. Also, we're going to be nice and upright. Coming back to the other side. And again, turning, pulling that hip back just that little bit, but keeping nice and upright. Okay, and then come back to the centre and down. All right, moving down to the hip exercise. I definitely want people holding onto their chair. Okay, feet comfortably apart, and we're establishing the pattern of movement in the lower body. So we're shifting the weight first of all, and take the heel forward and out. Bring the foot in and back and out, keeping all the weight on the leg that's not moving. And then back. And forward and out. And back and out. Back to base, feet apart. Shifting the weight slowly and carefully. The other heel forward and out. In and back and out. And in and forward and out. And of course the hand, just with the opposite hand to start with. And eventually moving to both hands together. Okay? Next one, behind the chair. Shifting the weight. That's the hand that's forward. Let's take the foot to the side. Shifting the weight. Engage your core muscles. Foot to the side. And come back. Shifting the weight. Foot to the side. And the other one. Other side. And back. Good. Okay, then we're moving down to the knees. And the second knee exercise, I really love that one because we're practicing moving our centre of gravity, keeping our centre of gravity, our dantian, within our balance circle. And part of that is keeping nice and upright and bringing the foot back, shifting the weight slowly and carefully. Heel, foot, then the front knee. And back, keeping the back heel down. Okay? Getting that confidence in moving forward, keeping upright, and then back. So we're establishing the pattern of movement in the lower body before we're bringing in the hand movement a couple of weeks later, usually, and back. All right, then. So that's just sharing some of the thoughts that I've come up with that have evolved over the years that I've been doing my Tai Chi classes. Okay. Thank you very much.
One of the things I really like is to bring Tai Chi to the basics and then using the principles to re-feel it and assessing it. And of course, that is something that's really useful as an instructor. When we teach, it's not like we're teaching a repetitive movement. It's teaching a movement with internal principles that we can actually get a fresh idea each time we teach, each time we feel the deeper part of how was it done, how was it balanced. And I think that also make it easier for the beginners to get the repetition that you do. So I don't see when I teach Tai Chi, which, as you know, I teach a lot of that. I don't feel bored. I don't just do the movements. Each time I try to use the principles, and each time it gives me new ideas. Sometimes it was just, oh, right, that's really what it is. So I think that's for me, the magic of Tai Chi was not just repetition, not just the movement.
There's just a question in the chat box from Phil. Just asking about the chair. One of the things, remember I said, remember the group dynamics. And I found this was what really got me on this path, particularly when you had people who had irritable conditions. And perhaps they decided, right, I've got to do something. I'm sick of this. I've got to do something. They come along to the Tai Chi class and they overdo it. You've pleaded with them to please sit down if you like. It's okay with me, but it's a new class. They don't know anyone. They don't want to be different. So they don't. And then they tell you, I know you said I should have sat down, but I didn't really feel like it. I said, okay, I've got to change what I do. Okay. And that's when I came up, right, everybody's got a chair. When I get to this move, everybody's sitting down, including me, because that's giving a break. That might be 10 minutes, quarter of an hour into the first session. And I'm talking about a brand new beginner's session. And then next week, well, they're saying hello to somebody else that was in the group last week. They're gradually, the friendship side of it's coming through. And some of them will stand up. Some of them will still be sitting or holding on to the chair. And that's when, yes, I do give them an option, because I really want to establish that this is something that we're all doing and breaking down that barrier, okay, between people in that group dynamic situation. Does that help? So a couple of weeks down the track, you've got some people are going to be holding on and some people are not going to be holding on. Some people, oh, look, I don't need the chair today, and you know that they're okay. And other people are, but they're not feeling embarrassed about doing it because I've already given them permission to. Does that help?
Thank you, Rosalie. That's really helpful. Yes, thank you.
And I love the way that Darci has, it breaks down the turning, making the exercises just so important, because, I mean, I got into doing Tai Chi because of the falls prevention and my concern for keeping people safely on their feet. So to me, it's let's get the feet sorted out. Let's get our weight shift. Let's feel those feet. Let's learn to move. Let's learn to move differently. And applying that to everyday life. So things like our knees just that little bit off lock, just having the knees just that little bit soft. You don't have to be like that, just a little bit soft, but not locked back. Because most people, unless they've been cued in, are used to walking and throwing their knees back. Okay? It's not doing their back any good or anything else. Okay? And they're not using their thigh muscles much. So by getting them doing the weight shift, taking time to feel the feet and so on, is helping to build up the strength in the muscles, in the thigh muscles, the hip muscles, and all the rest of it, so that they have got that confidence. We're working. We're doing something at the kitchen bench. Okay, are you going to be twisting under load with that leg under load? We're teaching people not to twist their knees, you know, how to move. Just lift your feet, lift the feet just a little bit, turn, place the foot. So we're teaching people it's not just how to do Tai Chi, it's how to use what you're learning in Tai Chi to help your joints, your knees and hips in particular, and so on, in everyday life, and applying those principles in everyday life. The same as the Dantian breathing, the engaging the core muscles, so important for all of our movements. Carrying on from that, there's another thought too, that just be aware that we talk about, churning, and that's fine. We offload this leg, turn the other foot, okay? Just like Darci was saying. Just be aware that if you're on a carpet, that is going to be, if your heel's down, there's more friction. There may be more tension through your knees, and so many people have got knees and hip issues that if you keep the integrity of the movement, but you can clear your foot by just a millimetre, nobody would know. Okay, but you're taking away any risk of twisting under load. Right? So it's just another little thought that sometimes I put in.
We have one person asking about the proper way of breathing, particularly for walking Tai Chi. That would be probably an in-depth one that Dr. Lam could address.
Okay, well, everybody's talking about walking Tai Chi. So if you read my newsletter, I think it went out, and the team and me, did a really extensive article. I think there were many pages. Is it out there? It should be on the website if it's not already there. And I tried to cover all the questions and things about walking, as well as that I upload the video of me teaching walking using Tai Chi principles, which is essentially what Tai Chi walking is walking with incorporating Tai Chi principles. And so that was, if you have done my Tai Chi for beginners program, if not, you will know, I'll tell you there, we break down the program into 6 steps. And step number 5 is the 5 fundamental movements. And so we teach one step at a time and then gradually bring people to the Tai Chi set. So that way, make it easier. And also, step number 4 is about Qigong, about breathing exercise. Number 5, the first step is about walking forward. So if you have done Tai Chi for beginners, have another look. If not, the walking forward is posted on the website. Okay, now the other question is about Tai Chi breathing. Breath is life, and it's really important to breathe properly. And I think it's kind of outside the scope of this topic. I have I'm writing the next newsletter for which I'll send to everyone. I think you all subscribers to my newsletter, which I will show the Tai Chi breathing. Essentially, we all breathe. It's like we all can walk, but to use Tai Chi principle into the breathing, it's like giving the direction, so your breathing become much more effective in growing your chi, in calming yourself, and improve other parts of your body, improve the parasympathetic nervous system, so allow you to heal better and more relaxed and so on. So and the breathing initially can be quite simple, but as you incorporate it into the Tai Chi movements, it sort of grow with your Tai Chi development, and you get the deeper layers as you go. So I think I believe most of you has done my Tai Chi for Health programs, and any one of those programs, I do talk about the breathing, and otherwise you wait for the next email that I send to you in about a week's time, that I will also show you the basis of how to do the Dantian breathing exercise. Rosalie, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I was just going to say, there was a comment in the chat from Philip about doing the Tai Chi in a circle. Yes, it's great. Not necessarily in the first day, though, but as people get to know each other and so on, and they're getting familiar with it, doing warm-ups in a circle is just lovely. And then later, as they're getting to know the moves, well, again, sort of starting to get the idea of a circle, even an arc, and then gradually getting to a circle. And of course, the person opposite you is going the other way. So it helps to say, right, everybody raise your left hand. Now let's just walk around to our left. Okay. But doing the Tai Chi in a circle is a really lovely togetherness thing. And certainly from the group cohesion point of view, it's really great. But not on day one usually. Okay, and of course everybody knows that people come into the room, they always sit in the same place, they always stand in the same place in the same order, so you can also just tell them to turn around and let's all orientate the other way today. And that usually gets a few laughs and a few comments as well. Okay.
Or physiotherapists who have very cleverly getting our people to do the exercise, the groundwork, to get the real idea safely, and also to make it more interesting. So really nice, Rosalie and Darcy. I kind of think you have that idea. Instead of practicing repeat ideas, you bring more life and more interest in the practice. That's how I take it. But anyway, any questions or comments?
The comments are excellent. Everyone loves these ideas. Yes.
You said all? That's great.
That's
Fantastic. So
all.
you all agree with me. So
Actually, I had a
You-
question I just put in the chat. This is Vivian. What about when you have a mixed level class? I took over teaching a Tai Chi class from an instructor that was teaching a completely different form. So I have people that have done these forms for several years, and then I have people who are coming in for the first time. So I some suggestions because I love these ideas of the chair and things, but I can just imagine some of my participants going, no way.
Well,
would you
if I
like to
can do
address
a
that?
quick answer,
Okay.
you can tell them if Dr. Lam's doing it and enjoying it, why shouldn't they?
I have just using the example of teaching brush knee, like I did. I had the stepwise progressive teaching method for the newbies who don't know brush knee, and then a principle of song or a principle to add kind of gets, the engineers and the artists, or the beginning people and the ones who know the form. I find it really helpful to go back to the stepwise because let's see, remember, if you miss the delicious middle of that songing, they would just go like the baseball player from this wall to this wall and miss that wonderful opportunity. And sometimes it kind of morphs into something else. So it's always nice. It's great, I think, to review pieces, even with classes who've done it a long time. Just kind of rotate through one at a time. My suggestion.
Thank you.
This is Pat, if I can jump in also, because this was fairly typical for me to deal with. And Dr. Lam said to me once that doing Tai Chi was like having a gourmet meal, and you need to savor each bite of each little part of the dish. And I never forgot that. And when we're really hungry or we don't appreciate the meal in front of us, I know I might gobble it up. And that's like at my beginner participants because they're working on the big picture. They're just trying to do the basic movement and get some coordination. So I started telling my more advanced people who had been doing it a while and who might look a little irritated that now they're backing up. I would tell them how it's like a gourmet meal and that they were now ready to savor each little bit. And then I would give them something quietly. And I would always say, and if you're learning for the first time, don't think about this, but just notice. And it might be listening to your feet, or it might be notice your breath. Just notice it. Don't try to control it, but do you see how you're breathing as you do that? Or think of a lovely image while you do this, and then I'll ask you to share it with the class later. So I give them something for that's just a little bit more than what they've had, and that way they get that benefit as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. That's really interesting. I don't remember I say that, but I do like gourmet meals, and yeah, and I thought if any you can also cite actual story with me. As you know, I've been doing Tai Chi by now 50 years, and I started the Tai Chi school, and all the instructors started trained by me. And most of you would have met Janet, amazing instructor, amazing master trainer. So with my school, I don't usually teach beginners, but when I go to my instructors, when they teach a class, I'll go to help them. And when I assist them, I actually like a student. I don't tell them what to do, and I never say they're wrong. But but I would be like a student. And I remember one day Janet was teaching a total beginner, the very first lesson, and I, as usual, went to support my instructors. So I did just like a beginner teaching the very, very basic move. And you know what? Afterwards, hey, I learned something. There's something in what she says. So that is the amazing thing about Tai Chi. If you allow yourself to empty your cup and just be mindful what you're doing, something else within Tai Chi, even the most simple steps, just like what we did now, we're talking about what Darci and Rosalie are doing, bringing down to the basic movements and feeling it in different way to practice it. It's really what I felt that lesson, and I still remember that lesson when I learned something from Janet's class for the first first lot of students. In fact, I guess the other thing that led me to talk about is the topic for next month. As you know, in my newsletter, I talk about there's a surge of interest in Tai Chi walking. Actually, Tai Chi walking is something that I heard of and have tried about 45 years ago. There were people who were doing Tai Chi walking, but it never caught on like now. So internet and all the social media does have a lot of effects. And so I encourage you to read my article. I work with our team to trying to answer all that. In a way, that's what we're doing, what people doing in Tai Chi walking is even taking it further back than Darci and Rosalie. It's just the walking. How do you bring Tai Chi principle into the walking? And that's something that we're going to talk about next forum. So I think it's really nice to bring Tai Chi even more to things we do every day. After all, for me, Tai Chi is about life, about making your life more fulfilling, more enjoyable by making us healthier, more mindful of where we are, and enjoy the food, whether it's gourmet or not. Feel it, but of course more so if you go to a very special meal. So I that's the 2 points I think I want to make. That it's really nice to back to the basic and to see how much depth in every Tai Chi we do. You can do the real sophisticated forms, but also it's really good to apply that to daily activities and to really see the basics and see how much depth, how interesting it is.
Darcy, would you like to share those prompts that you had in mind for our quick breakout session?
Oh, okay. Well, we talked about less is more, and we talked about setting up for success and sensing feet. Those are really nice topics. If you are familiar or your group is familiar with setting up for success, how would you set up for success from punch under elbow, so to speak? Well, just like brush knee, how we turned our toe into the corner, but here is a back step. I can turn my heel out so I am facing the corner before I do my separate to the back wall. So that's kind of setting them up for success. You see what I mean? Getting them halfway there to the corner. And that's just an idea. If you wanted to talk about those kind of things, how to set up your teaching yourself for success, how to set up your participants for success, or the concept less is more, or sensing feet, that's my suggestion.
Actually did. I wanted to
Thank you for this wonderful get together, this wonderful instructor forum. Looking forward to next month's forum. I'm also looking forward to seeing Dr. Lam next Sunday. If you happen to be a USTCC member, Dr. Lam is coming for a special event. We're going to be discussing his Tai Chi for Diabetes, Living Well with Diabetes book, as well as practicing the forms. So if you're not a member already, consider becoming one. And thank you, Dr. Lam, for helping us out with that.
Where will that take place?
It's going to be on Zoom at 6 o'clock Eastern Time next Sunday. And you can learn more about it and about the United States Tai Chi community, ustcc.org.
Okay.
Hi,
And,
Luna.
Hi, Darci.
And even though it's called the United States Tai Chi community, we have international members too. So anybody can join. We're open for fun for all. Thank you.
Go ahead, Pat.
And I would just like to say, here we had this wonderful session on taking out something that's simple, the stepping and walking, but there's so much there. There's so much depth. And I just want to highlight that the pre-conference weekend at Lake Junaluska in the bold print referred to Tai Chi for Energy. But if you haven't registered for it yet, read about it, think about registering. It is more, it's beyond Tai Chi for Energy. You do not have to know Tai Chi for Energy. You should be familiar and you will get the online course for free with your registration. But it's going to be about the spirals and the moving of the energy and depth that we discover through certain movements that can then open up new levels in whatever Tai Chi you're practicing now. Tai Chi for health, one of the styles, Yang or Sun. It doesn't have to be Chen to benefit from some of this in Chen. And Dr. Lam's highlighting the turbocharge move, which is not officially in Tai Chi for Energy, but can be put into several of the other sets. So I just want to encourage people who have maybe been undecided about coming to think about adding it to your registration for the week long, and you will then get that discount for registering for both. Or if the week long was too big a commitment for you, think about just coming for the weekend because it's going to be fabulous and you'll learn ways to amplify your own practice regardless of what style it is.
Thanks, Pat. That's really nice. And yeah, I sort of go back to the history that I always interested to learn different forms, especially chain style. And then when we create the Tai Chi for Energy, it's really bring you the flavor and the inner feelings of those two styles, chain style and Sun style. It's yeah, not just about the form, but really sometimes when you open your mind and try out different things, it kind of help to sort of a different perspective of different ways to look at the elephant. So in a way, it help you to understand Tai Chi better in whatever Tai Chi you're doing. Or of course, you can always get to enjoy Tai Chi for Energy like I do as well. But the workshop it's about exploring, about working together. And if you know the forms, well, I think that you'll find that there's more within that. So it's not just doing the sets. And I hope, yeah, more people will come and we can work together.
Oh, we have a photo, Dr. Lam.
Sure. So let's start with our open close.
I'll have 2 pages of each. So here we go. Here's page 1. 1, 2, 3. And then the second page, 1, two, three. Great. Thank you.
You want to do another move? That was a
Sure.
Sung style open close. Do like this. Come in, join me. Exalting incoming force. Feeling.
Okay, ready, everyone. One, two, three. And page two. One, two, three. Excellent. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. I'm going to officially conclude this forum, and you can stay for a few more minutes if you like, but meanwhile, we'll just officially conclude. And thank you for Darci, Rosalie, Pat, and of course, Evan and Ernie, especially for putting this together, making it possible. And yes, we'll stay for a few more minutes if you like. Otherwise, bye.